Okay, so this will be yet another video about data validation and drop-down lists specifically. So we'll do a few things. We'll create a simple yes/no drop-down. Then we'll move on to more complicated scenarios. So what we will do, well, for a start, I have this data set. We have different makes for cars. We have different models for those makes and versions for models. So what I want to do, I want to have a drop down here of possible makes, so BMW, Honda, and whatever's available in this column. And then if somebody selects BMW, then the only models they should have available in the model column would be just the ones that are matching BMW here, which is like 3 series and 4 series. And then if you select 3 series, you should only have 3 series model versions available as a last column. Now, when we make this dependent drop-down validation, this will be possible to do for any number of columns. So if you then wanted to have another dependent drop-down, you can just extend that logic to make it happen. The only thing that this will not do, it will not work for a lot of different rows. So this will be just for one row type of situation. If you need something that will work for many rows, then you'll have to use app scripts, and I have video covering that as well. So let's get started. So let's start with the basic. Let's do a very basic yes or no validation drop down box. So basically you click wherever you want the yes or no option. Let's say I want it here. You go under data and then you go data validation. And here you're gonna have a few options, a list from a range or a list of items. I'm gonna select list of items for this case. And then I have comma separated list of items. So I'm gonna yes, comma, no. I'm gonna hit save. And now I have this little drop down. So if I click on it, say I have yes and no options here. And you can just select whichever one you want. And the way this is going to work, if you try hello, see it gives you this error box that this is invalid and you should only have yes or no options. Now, if you go back to this data validation, you will have this option to reject input. And the difference for this would be if I switch to reject input option and it's safe. If I type hello now, hit enter. Let me actually clear that first and then go back again. The value was already in there. So let's stop this. See, it says there was a problem. You can only enter yes or no. Now you can manually type yes or no, or you can also use this drop down to select one of those options. So that's that. Now, once in a while, you might have a column, something like finished. And then you want to have yes or no, but you want for the whole column. So if you wanted to do that, all you have to do is just simply highlight the range of different cells, and then go under data validation, and then we're gonna go list of items. I'm gonna do yes, comma, no, and then simply, depending on which one you like, just select show warning or just reject the input. And there you go, hit save. Now I have this entire area with yes or no drop down boxes. So that's our yes or no drop down box. That's pretty much as simple as it is. Now, another option for yes or no you could use a checkbox instead. So if you just select a range like this, go under data and go under data validation. As a last item, there's a checkbox. So checkbox is another way of saying yes or no. So you could just leave checkbox like this, hit save. Now what's going to happen, you're going to have a checkbox. You can just check the box or have it unchecked. So that would be another yes or no. Technically not going to say yes or no, but it's going to say this little box by default is going to say true or false. Now what you could do, if you go back to this data validation, you can do this under checkbox, use custom cell values. And when checked, you can say it should be yes. And when it's unchecked, it should be no. So if I hit save, now it will actually have the values yes or no. The only difference is that when it's checked, it will be basically yes, but you won't actually see the text yes. But if you look at the value of the cell on top, see it says yes. And if I look for this one, see it says no, because it's not checked. So that's another way to do yes or no. You could use checkboxes. Now, if you change your mind for any of this data validation, you want to remove it, all you have to do is just select that area, go back under data and data validation, and simply remove validation. And that's just going to get us back to default. Right now, that's all the text I had there because of the checkboxes. Now, again, for the same thing here, if I don't want this, I just go data validation, remove validation, and it's gone. So that's our basic data validation drop-down box, right? So you have your yes or no. Now, once in a while, if you wanted a set of values as an option, so let's say I want a validation box that will just give me different model options that I have here, right? Or I'm actually going to show you on makes, because I want to show you another thing here. So if you look here, I have this make column, and this BMW option repeats a lot of times, and then Honda repeats, and the next one repeats. So if I go back here and just select this entire area or just one cell, go under data, data validation, and now instead of doing list of items, I'm going to do list from range. And then here I'm going to click in this box to select range, go to this tab with my range of items, and simply select from here. And I'll usually do more just in case I'm adding more data, but that should be fine. Hit OK, hit save. And what's going to happen now, if I go here and open, see, it's not going to show BMW multiple times. It removes the duplicates automatically and just basically shows you unique options. So you can also do this. You can just have some area when you just type the values for your drop-down box and then use that range for that. So with this idea, I'm going to go to this dependent drop-down. And what I have to do, I need to have the first drop down to be just to select different makes that we have here. So that's going to be pretty much the same thing I just did a second ago. So the first one is pretty straightforward. So to do this, I'm going to go back here, click in this box. I'm going to go data, data validation, and list from a range. That's already selected. Click in this box, go to this data tab. And I'm going to select from here all the way down. So Control Shift down and Control Shift down again. So I'm going to hit OK, save. This should now give me Control up to get back. If I go back here, I should have those 3 different makes. So the way I want this to work, if somebody selects Honda, I need to only have Honda models here. So that means that we would have, well, for Honda, we only have one option. So let's see how that's going to work. So first of all, to do this, I'm going to create 2 more tabs. And one of the tabs I'm going to call model. And the other tab I'm going to call model version. So just like that to keep it clean. So what I'm going to do for each one of this, I'm going to start with model, and I'm going to basically use a function to filter my data to only have, if somebody selects Honda here, I want to only have the data from this car data tab that matches that model. So if somebody selects Honda, I just want to get all of these Honda options. If somebody selects BMW, I only want to get these options on that model tab. So to do that, I'm going to use a function called filter. So I'm going to do equals filter. So the first argument in this function is range. I'm going to go ahead and select all my data. So I'm going to go to this car data tab. I don't want the labels on top, although I could select them. So select here. I'm going to do Control Shift down and probably Control Shift down again to select the entire range there. So that's my range of items. Now for this, I could also, to simplify my life, I can just remove this last row reference. Now, when you're doing this for data validation range, you can't actually do that. So when you're doing that list from range, you will have to go and select all the way down. But for this formula, I can actually just remove the last row reference. It's basically, it means just select all the way down. So that's my range. So I'm going to do comma. Now the second thing is the condition for this. So the condition is going to be is that I want to check in this column, the first column, if it's whatever that person selected. So to do that, I'm going to go here. So I'm going to just select that column. I'll do shift down a couple of times and then again remove the row reference. So basically this is the entire range. That's my table. Now in that table, I'm filtering using column A, which is what I have selected. And I want to make sure in that column A, it equals to whatever person selected on our tab, which should be on this dependent tab. So if I go back, so whatever the person selected is this Honda. So I'm going to click on that cell. So that's what I have. I have first argument, that's my data range. And the second argument, I want to make sure the column I'm checking it is equal to the condition that the person wants. So I'll go ahead and close this parentheses, hit enter. So see now this model tab returns only Honda as a result. So if I go back here and switch this to BMW, because this is linked to this cell, I'm going to go back here. It's only showing BMW options here. Let's expand this. So this is just going to give me this range, which is changing depending on what's changing here, right? So if we're changing this make, that gives us this. Now with that, now I can use this for my data validation for my model. So I'm going to click here, go under data, data validation, and here list from range. I'm going to click in this range icon, go back to model. Now ranges would be in this column B. So that's the model. So click in the beginning, control shift down and control shift down again. And this is where you cannot just remove the row reference. I wish you could. Hopefully it will be added at some point. But for now, we'll just have to do this. I'm going to hit OK and save again. Now again, you can reject input if you want. So maybe I'll just switch all of this to reject input. Hit save. Now control up, get me to the top. Now I'm going to go back to this dependent tab. I'm also going to switch this really quickly since I'm on this topic, data validation, reject input. So now the way it's going to work, if I look at this, see it gives me only Golf as the model. If I go back and select Honda, I'm only going to get this. And if I select BMW, I'm going to get 3 Series and 4 Series, which if you remember is the options we should actually have for BMW. 3 and 4 Series, Civic is for Honda, and Golf here. So that's our second drop down. Now the third drop down is going to be now dependent on this. So if I select 3 Series, I should only have BMW 3 Series options, which should be basically all of these options right here. That's pretty much going to be the same thing, only we're going to build another filter function using this tab. So I'm going to go to this blank tab, do equals filter, and the range is going to be again the same range here. So I'll just select this and remove the last row reference, comma, and the condition, well, it's going to be multiple conditions. First of all, we want to make sure it's the right make. Then we're going to make sure it's the right model. So I'm going to click here because that box is kind of getting on the way. Shift down a couple of times. That highlights that area. I'm going to again go back and remove the reference here. So that, again, this is pretty much the same thing I did. I'm just selecting a column. And I want to make sure in that A column, it equals to whatever the selection is on the other tab. So that means I'm going to go to the other tab and click on this BMW. So this is pretty much repeating what I did. Now, the cool thing about this filter function, is that you can have multiple conditions. So this was just one condition. Now I can do comma and chain multiple conditions, and you could do this for as many columns as you wanted. Now I only have 2 columns. I just want to make sure that it also matches these 3 series. So first I'm gonna have to go back to my data, and here I'm gonna select the range here and remove the row reference again. So in the big column, I need to make sure it equals to, I'm going to go back to dependent and click on that cell. Perfect. So that should do that. I'm going to close parentheses there. So hit enter, and hopefully as a result, see, I'm getting BMW 3 series because that's pretty much what's selected here. Now, if I switch to 4 series, I should get those options only. And if I go back and select, let's say Honda, and we select Civic, then we should get, where are we? This. So now let's create our last validation box, which should be the model version. So I'm going to go under data, and I'm going to do data validation and list from range, click in a box, go back to model version tab, move this here, and I'm going to have to select from here all the way down, and I'll go ahead and hit OK. So reject input, hit save, and control up gets me back to the top. Go back here. Now I should get my model versions. Now if I go here and switch to BMW and switch this to 4 series, then I should only have 4 series options here, right? And then if I go to 3 series, I should get my 3 series options. And there it is. It's working just fine. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, I'm gonna just clear these boxes for a second. And I wanna see what happens when you don't have anything in those boxes. It seems to be fine. So it just doesn't give you any options when nothing is selected, which is perfect. Now, if we go here and again, let's test it one more time. This gives you golf. What about this one? Again, gives you nothing. That's very good. So BMW, so 3 series, and I'm gonna go with M3. There we go. That's our dependent validation using filters function. What I would do probably, because I don't want this model and model version getting on the way, you could just hide those. So if I right click on this model version, I can simply say hide sheet, and it will not get on the way. And then if I go under right click on a model, I can hide sheet that one as well. So that would go away too. Now, if you don't want to see this card data as well, you could obviously right click and hide that one too. And all I have left is my dependent validation, which should still work exactly the same way as it did before. Now, if at any point you decide you want to get those back, you can go under, I believe it's under view. Let's just, yeah, under view. So hidden sheets, see, there they are. So if I want to get them back, I'm going to go just click this. See, it's back. This and this. And that's how we get those back. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.